Hi, this is Darshini Jasani, and I'm going to be talking about the different leadership contingency theories. Last module, we had looked at the different leadership theories and like the path co-leadership theory, behavioral leadership theory. Most of them concluded that it's the situation which is the biggest deciding factor in choosing a theory. Due to which the leadership contingency theories came up. Contingency typically means depends. Uh, all these ideas and these different these contingency models have been used from the Achua and Lucia textbook, the 2016 edition. The first one is the leadership contingency model, which was developed by Fiedler in 1951. He basically proposed two leadership styles, the task-oriented and the relations-oriented leadership style. The task-oriented leadership style focuses on getting the task or the job done. The relations-oriented leadership style focuses on the employee relations and relations going on in the institution. Uh, Based on that, he looked at certain situational favorable factors which allowed for the job to be completed. The first one was the leader-member relation. So better the relations between the leader and the followers, the higher chances of getting the work done. The second one was the task structure, which spoke of the organization in the institution. It also spoke about the clarity of the job that needed to be done. And the last one was position power, which talked of the different or the level of position or level of power that the leader had. More the power, the higher the chances of getting the job done. Fiedler used the least preferred co-worker scale to decide whether a leader was task-oriented or relations-oriented. There was not much clarity on how he used the scale. Fiedler believed that a leader should not change his style, but instead change the situation. However, in practice, it's easier to change one's style versus changing an entire situation. Due to this, he received a fair amount of criticism. However, it was still the first attempt at explaining a contingency model, due to which it has gained importance. Fiedler was the first one to propose some sort of a model where there was a flowchart where one answer led to the next answer, and using subsequent, getting the answers from the previous subsequent questions, the type of leadership style could be chosen. However, due to the criticism, another model, which was the leadership continuum model, was proposed. So the leadership continuum theory was developed by Tannenbaum and Schmidt again in the 1950s. Here, there were 7 leadership styles, which shifted either from totally boss-oriented to employee-oriented, and within these there was a range of 7 leadership styles one could choose from. The boss-oriented leadership style focused on being more autocratic, and the employee-oriented focused on being a more democratic or participative style. Between that, varying degrees of leadership styles could be chosen. The variables in this included the forces in the boss, which could be either autocratic or democratic, the types of subordinates, whether they wanted complete they wanted complete dictatorship or not. It also depended on the situation, which spoke of the organization and the clarity in the job to be done, and also time was a factor, where if there was more time on hand, democratic style could be chosen, but if there was less time, an autocratic decision needed to be made. This model allowed for choosing between 7 styles. However, what style should be used in which situation, there was no clarity based on that. Open-ended judgments were required to be made, due to which it could not be a fully accepted model. However, it had still gained importance. After this came about the path co-leadership theory, which was developed by Robert House in 1971. In this, 4 leadership styles were proposed: directive, supportive, participative, and achievement-oriented. Directive was when the leader gave complete direction. Supportive is when he included or supported the workers, and their worker or the follow ability was high. Participative is when the leader included the opinions and decisions of the followers, and again the follower ability is relatively high. And achievement oriented is when the leader followed on getting the task or the work done. The variables in this included the follower and the environment variables. The follower variables included authoritarianism, where the followers wanted for complete direction. It also depended on the locus of control, where it was either intrinsic or extrinsic, and whether they uh, felt they could do the task or not. And the last was their ability, which reflected the fact whether they felt they were capable of doing the job or not. The environment factors included the task structure, which spoke of the organization or the clarity in the task. It also spoke of the formal authority, which is similar to Fiedler's model, where it was the power vested in the leader. And the last is the work group, which spoke of the dynamics of the group. Here, 4 leadership styles again need to be chosen from, and which leadership style should be chosen in which situation again was an open-ended judgment. However, the fact that can be appreciated from this is that it gave rise to the fact that there were certain situation variables which also needed to be considered, which then led to the leadership substitute theory. The leadership substitute theory basically spoke of the certain situations where the need of the leader could be neutralized or substituted, where if there were highly skilled workers, probably a leader need not necessarily be there. In this, the neutralizing factors included the follower characteristics, which could depend on whether the followers wanted complete direction or not. It could also depend on the task characteristics, which depended on the clarity of the task. So if the tasks were completely clear, maybe foreign leadership would not be required. And it also depended on the organization characteristics, which could be the size of the organization, and it could also depend on the flexibility of the organization to accommodate different suggestions or not. Talking from a school perspective, the eventual goal should be to have a leader substitute theory, because you need to have a set of highly skilled teachers who do their task whether or not the principal demands it. However, if it's a school which is in the initial phase, or if it's a school that's being set up, the path goal leadership theory would help in achieving the goals, because a leader is expected to choose from 4 leadership styles, and it focuses on the versatility of a leader, and as a principal, one needs to be versatile. However, eventually it should lead to the leader substitute theory. In the article written by Mark Myatt, he suggests that a lot of models are available for making decisions on what style should be used. However, soft skills like humility, sensitivity, and people relationships are the ones that need to be looked at the most. If one fails to look at those, any model can eventually fail. And so that's that. I hope you liked the video, and thank you for watching.